Our next match in the diving event, Canada and Australia. Let's see who takes it. Canada getting the lead off the diving board, taken by Australia, neck and neck. 4 events now in the Marble Summer Games. Japan in the lead, winning 2 of them. Now into event 5, where the marbles will be diving. Once off that diving board, they'll be racing one-on-one underwater for first place. The winner moves on to the next round. Hello everyone, and I'm Alex B. We welcome you back to the Marble Tokyo-Dome. Before we get started, let's have our athlete of the day, which is Brisbane, Australia. In his early life, he never thought he'd be here. He was more into off-roading in the Australian outback. But after his friends invited him to go diving at Bondi Beach, he knew this is what he wanted to do. The butterflies after you jump, the temperature change after you hit the water, and experiencing a whole new world underneath is far more memorable than off-roading. It was like the ocean was calling him all this time. After he knew he had potential, he spent the next couple years becoming better and better at diving. Though he started late and the more experienced competitors looked down on him, Brisbane is ready to prove himself in the 2020 Summer Games. Underestimating him is the last thing the competitors want to do. And now in the first round, he'll be fighting Argentina. All his training built up to this moment. Can he impress? We are rolling down the diving board. Australia having a lead, both hitting the puck. Argentina trapping himself, and Brisbane getting his first win in the professional Marble Summer Games. And we have the rescuers rescuing Argentina, who did not finish. Australia, his first time, 6.71. And let's see who he'll be fighting in the next round. It's going to be either Concepcion or Medan, Chile and Indonesia respectively. Indonesia taking the lead down that second part, and he'll be taking it. Chile just not having the stamina this time. He did phenomenal in both the uphill sprint and the regular sprint, but didn't do too well in the diving. You don't need to worry about extra forces in regular sprinting. It's a completely different game under the water. You have a ton of forces up against you down there. And Indonesia taking home our 3rd win in round 1. Now we have Naples, Italy, and Chicago from the States. It's neck and neck. USA getting the lead, and the Italy trapping himself, and that's going to give US the win. The key to this track is to stay in the center and not on the sides, because hitting one of those 2 pucks will be detrimental to your score. USA finishing with 5.16, and they'll be moving on to round 2. Certainly a much needed win, as they're placed in the bottom 8 right now. Match 4 now, Caloocan and Valencia. There they go, Philippines getting the lead and is going to take it all the way till the end, with Valencia hitting that puck on the left. Valencia's distraction really didn't help him in that race, but the Philippines' agility was able to pull him through, and that'll keep the Philippines' strong position in the tournament, winning the 2nd event in the Marble Summer Games. Let's see if they can make it all the way to the top. Next up, we have Osaka and Bangalore. You really got to watch out for Japan. He's a massive powerhouse, but he drifts into the puck, and that gives India the clear edge to victory. Major upset there for Japan. It seemed neck and neck up until the second half, and I don't know what was in Japan's mind. Maybe his game wasn't on point, but that will cost him the win, and that will give India the spot in round 2. Now Birmingham and Georgetown, both representing UK and Malaysia. Malaysia getting the edge, but trapping himself in the puck. And the UK finishing with 495. The first few rounds is where we really weed out the people who weren't built for this tournament. It's the second round, the semis, and especially the finals, where things get really exciting. Calling the first responders again to rescue Malaysia from underwater. Man, if I got a shot every time we had to call them, we'd have to find a new commentator from M&H Racing. Like, I'm serious though. It's every time we have an event, we have to call the first responders in some way. Up now, Guadalajara and Calgary. Canada taking the race no problem. And Mexico, I don't know what he was trying to do. You can see here, Mexico did seem to have the slight edge up until underwater, and it looked like he was going to try to bypass Canada from the other side. But you don't have enough space to pull off all these fancy moves. Canada just went straight for it, and that's what gets him the spot. Last but not least, Brazil and Russia. Russia getting the good lead, taking over by Brazil, and he's going to be winning by just a landslide. What an exciting race to kick an end to round one. You can see Russia having a great lead there in the diving, but Brazil able to pull off the move that Mexico was trying to do, and he's going to be taking the last spot in round two. And with all the spots taken, we have our standings. 8 will be reduced to 4 once this round is complete. And wait a second, it looks like we have to delay the event. We got to get the big giant hand to come in and clear some debris from the track. I'm sure he's the best at diving. All he has to do is just plow his way to victory. The first match of round 2 underway. Brisbane, Australia taking it away from Indonesia. And it looks like the hard training has paid off. And we're going to be seeing him in the semifinals. Absolutely slamming his previous record by 2 seconds, finishing with 4.06. And that's going to get Team Australia in the semis. I have a feeling this is going to be a good one. Philippines and the US, match 2. We're rolling. US absolutely cutting Philippines off right from the start, and he's going to take it no problem. And that's going to be the end for Philippines' line. Look at this, Philippines missing a jump there on the diving board. Already off to a bad start entering that pool. And all the US needed was a bit of stamina. And Chicago leads Team USA to the semis, racing Australia in the next round. Match 3 now in round 2, India and UK neck and neck as they enter the pool. India getting the slight edge, getting hit by that puck. And the UK is going to take it. Just goes to show how even just the slight miscalculation can completely ruin your game. The Marbles can use the bumps on that ground to guide their way to victory, but unfortunately India miscalculated his run, and that's a big blow for them as the UK are third team moving on to round 3. Canada and Russia. Canada getting the good lead right off the diving board and takes it no problem, slamming Russia to the ground. It was no contest for Canada even before they hit the pool. All Canada needed was good precision, and they come out with 4.55. And they're our last team moving on to the semis. You thought the competition was crazy in the first rounds? Just wait until we get into those last 2 rounds. Those 4 teams hungry for those 3 medals. 3 of them will be getting one, but 1 of them will be left out. The question everyone's asking, who's going to get them? Australia and the US going first. Brisbane struggling to catch up to Chicago, but Chicago will be leading the States to the finals, an extremely rare occasion at M&H Racing. You gotta give it to Brisbane though, only a few years of experience in this area and is still able to prove himself among the elites. He still has a chance to win a medal in the 3rd place match. Last match of round 1, UK and Canada. Canada getting the lead, taken over by the UK. And we have our final set. It's going to be the US versus the UK. Canada and Australia will be battling it for 3rd place. Look at here though, Canada getting the good edge up until the underwater race. But the UK had a good leverage after hitting the water. And that gives them the lead going to the finals. Our 3rd place marbles will be battling it out first. Brisbane, Australia and Calgary, Canada. Canada getting the lead off the diving board, taken by Australia, neck and neck. And I think it's Canada that's going to take the lead again. 2 position changes in a race. But man, Brisbane really showing off his skills. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and Canada just takes it by a hair. But man, I'd say that's a good run for the first time competing in this event. I do know he needs a lot of work though. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. Everything coming down to this one moment. We got the US and UK competing in a best of 3. This could be US's first place win in M&H Racing. US getting a good lead into the underwater race and taking it no problem against the UK. A good neck and neck here, but I noticed this one tactic that the US does. He did this twice today, but right after entering the pool, he just cuts right in front of his opponent. That forces him to slow down, but it also gives Chicago the speed he needs to win the race. USA leading by 1-0. Can UK come back? US getting the lead once again. It's neck and neck up into the start, but the US once again taking the win with 4:23. And the USA will be getting their first gold medal and their first marble race win. While you wait for the next event, check out more marble racing on the top right hand corner. And I'm Alex B. We'll see you all next week.